Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on the Alchemist. I'm going to create a 1st to 5th level Alchemist. It can be any race, you'll just have one less feat if you're not human. The Alchemist has a D8 hit dice, so they are about as hardy as a cleric, but they are not as proficient in armor. They are proficient in all light armor and simple weapons and bombs, which they get as a class feature. You need a high intelligence score to be able to cast all their magic and to have a good save DC on all their bombs and such. The next stat I would have really good would be Dex, so that way all your ranged attacks, your throwing of your bombs, would be easier to succeed to get where you need it to be. Then I would increase my Con as my other stat. Gear, I'd start with studded leather and I'd upgrade it to a chain shirt by 3rd level or so. I would try to start with a light crossbow unless my funds were low. And then I would have a club that would upgrade to a Morning Star later, because you always need that nice bludgeoning weapon for undead. And then I would have at least 3 to 6 daggers on him. Your best saves for this class is Fort and Reflex. So if you have a good 4th stat, I'd probably put it in Wisdom just to boost your will save. Feats that I would take through the course of leveling would be Point Blank Shot, Far Shot, so that way you can get the bombs where you need them to be, and at shorter range they can do a little bit more damage. I would also take I'd pick between these and maybe select more of them at higher levels. Extra discovery or extra bombs. Extra bombs give you 2 more bombs. Extra discovery gives you a discovery that is part of a class feature that I will explain more as I go through the levels. And then the last feat I would take would be Master Alchemist. You have to have 5 ranks in Alchemy to take it. The Master Alchemist, you change the GP of the item as SP instead. So a 50 GP or 20 GP flask of acid becomes 20 SP flask of acid for your crafting. You add that to the some of the Alchemist abilities as they level, and you can craft that in even half of that time. So imagine the amount of stuff you can make. Now add that to, say, the ultimate combat rules, where if you allow it, you have black powder in your game. Now they can make a boatload of black powder quickly. So level 1, you start with Alchemy. You get to add your bonus to all of your class level to all your Alchemy checks. All of them. Can use your Alchemy to identify potions, like detect magic. So it's as if you cast detect magic when you're examining a potion, and then you roll your Alchemy check to see if you can identify it. You get your extracts, which are your spells. You don't get quite as many as a wizard would get, so that is the only thing that's going to hamper you on what's in your book. So look over the Alchemy spell list, figure out what extra spells you want, and seek out scrolls of it to add to your book over the course of leveling. You get brew potion. You can brew any potion that you have the spell you can know that you know. My house rule on it is when you get access to your higher level spells, because you have to have so many caster levels of Alchemist to get there, I rule that when you craft that potion, you make the cheaper version of that potion. So say a cleric only needs to be 3rd level to craft cure moderate wounds potions, well, and an alchemist needs to be 4th level. Well, the alchemist can craft it at that 3rd level price because it's part of his class feature as the house rule. That way his stuff isn't more expensive. He's doing what he should be doing. Bombs do a d6 damage plus your intelligence bonus, and it's all fire damage. They have a splash radius of 5 feet. You get your level plus your intelligence bonus in number of bombs per day you can throw. The range of the bombs is 20 feet. The DC for your reflex save of your bombs is 10 plus half your level plus your intelligence modifier. So when you throw a bomb, the higher your intelligence, the easier it is for your enemies to succumb to the damage. You also get mutagen, which at lower levels is somewhat beneficial, but not greatly beneficial. I would wait to capitalize on it. I'd wait till second or third level. I'd still have it. I'd still use it. It's just the cost in combat to use it versus how effective you could be once you have some more hit points under your belt is far different. It takes you an hour to make a mutagen. You can only have one mutagen on you at any one time. When you drink it, you gain +2 natural armor, so you get a better AC, and then you get +4 to 1 physical stat, which you had determined when you made this mutagen. You get a -2 to a corresponding mental stat. So say I want a +4 strength, I'd get a -2 to intelligence, I believe that's the one, or -2 to wisdom, whatever. Each physical stat has a corresponding mental stat that gets a penalty. The potion effects of the mutagen last 10 minutes per your level. You also get throw anything at first level. You can add your intelligence bonus to thrown weapon damage. So you don't need to have a high strength to be an alchemist and throwing shit and hurting shit. At level 2, you get a discovery. And there's a big list of them. The discovery I picked was explosive bomb. It gives you a splash radius of 10 feet instead of 5 feet, and everything that is hit by it can catch fire. And the fire is normal catching fire. You take a d6 fire every turn. You get poison resistance at level 2. So now you get a bonus when saving versus poisons. If you follow this class high enough at, I believe it's 10th level, you are immune to poisons. You also get poison use. So now you can dip weapons in poison, especially poisons you crafted with your alchemy, and use them to their effect without threat of poisoning yourself by accident by applying them to weapons. At level 3, you get swift alchemy. You can craft alchemy items in half the time, and you can apply poison as a move action instead of a standard action to a weapon. Your bombs now do 2d6 damage, plus the other bonuses of your intelligence modifier and the splash effects from the bombs that I have picked for the discovery. At level 4, you get another discovery. This discovery would depend on what you want to do, because at this point, at level 3, your mutagen would be very effective because now you can take a few hits in melee combat and not go down quickly. So now you could take feral mutagen. You'd get a little bit more on the AC. You get some claws and bite attacks. So that would give you more B-style transformation, so more Jekyll and Hyde transformations from this. Or you could go another route. You could take a smoke bomb. You could add a large area of smoke to give you cover and such. Or you could take acid bomb to add you a different element. And this one would dissolve your enemies where the fire can't hurt the enemies, because there's always a few that are immune to fire. At level 5, at level 4, you get your access to your first set of second level spells. At level 5, you get bombs, do 3d6 damage. So now you're up there dealing a lot of damage with the bombs you can use per day. You also get poison resistance +4 at level 5. So that's how I would break the class down and how I would level it. You can't go wrong with a lot of the choices that are very optional. Now the spells I would pick, I would start with these 4 spells at level 1. Shield, Cure Light Wounds, and Enlarge Person, and Comprehend Languages. Comprehend Languages kind of is not necessary per se, but I always like the idea that he drinks a quick potion and now he can hear and understand everything that's being spoken around him. The shield spells, of course, your signature defensive weapon, defensive magic. Then you got your Cure Light Wounds, so you can heal and make healing potions. Enlarge Person, passing out Enlarge Person potions is always fun. When I leveled up 1 level, you only gain another spell each level, so you don't gain 2 spells per level like a wizard. I would take True Strike. With True Strike, I would start creating potions of True Strike and passing them amongst the party. If they drink a potion as a move action and make an attack, well, an extra plus 20 never hurts. From there, I would take, at the next level, at level 3, Crafter's Fortune, which is a spell actually in the Advanced Player's Guide. At level 2, I would take Invisibility, because it's always nice to be invisible. At this point, since I'd be 4th level when I get level 2 spells, I'd take some of my funds from whatever adventure I had and buy me a couple more scrolls of level 2 spells. But the spells that I would pick myself would be Invisibility, Blur, and Cure Moderate Wounds. Anything in addition to that is always useful and always helpful. And it never hurts to have a big spell book to read from, to prepare your magic from. You're not as spell focused as a dedicated spellcaster because you don't get as many spells per day, but you don't need as many with all these interesting alchemy abilities and items. This is my take on the Alchemist. If you've seen an Alchemist played, read over the Alchemist, and had cool ideas, put them in the comments below. I look forward to seeing them. Until we meet again.